Coming up next, check, mic check. What's going on, y'all? Hey, welcome to HF Daily. So this is a new thing we're going to be doing. We got to start documenting the journey. And we're going to be doing more podcast style type stuff. You can't hear, bro? I mean, I hear myself.
Oh, I was muted.
Oh, see, bro.
Yeah.
But we got to the studio early today. We're still cleaning things up. We're still getting used to this new setup. And we wanted to talk about like goal setting, because right now where we are as a company, we need to set some concrete goals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially this can be a good conversation for any creators out there who aspire to do what we do. So
yeah, man, we're going to start
definitely take notes. But
yeah, we're going to start this new thing called HF Daily. And, we're just doing the first one live on YouTube and Twitch just to give everybody a feel for this type of podcast type content. So, we don't know if every single one daily will be on YouTube or, in Patreon or whatever, Discord sometimes, but, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's a good way for those who seek the guide type style footage and the behind the scenes type footage, because I feel like everything we do can be caught on camera. We don't always have them on. So it'll be like more of an intimate thing that we post in Patreon, and then some of them on YouTube. We really don't know. They might just all go on YouTube. But we were talking today just about, goal setting and some of the goals that we need to set as a company with all the different ways that we're approached, like whether it be sponsorships or, we're going to the BTS concert in November, and we get pulled many different directions too. So
yeah.
I mean, even just as creators, that's one aspect. As our lives outside of YouTube and being creators, we just want to be able to add value to each and every person from our audience. Like if you're just here for reactions, cool. If you're excited about one of my goals, which is to be putting out more music of my own soon,
yeah,
cool. Let us know. In his filmmaking ultimately. So
yeah,
I feel like it's another good thing too for everyone who's new here. We kind of get the mindset of, seeing a couple of different names that we see often in the Twitch streams and, DMs and certain messages. But sometimes, we move so fast and we maneuver the way that we do. We forget that there's new people joining every day who they truly don't know who we are. They just think that we're sitting down and, we watch the song that they like too. So we want to get more intimate with the people and share our purpose and our calling. So
absolutely. I got to pause for a second and say thank you, Sakalen, for the gifted sub as well as the tier 1 subscription.
Oh, you on the Twitch chat, bro?
Yeah, man. I gotta every time somebody subs, we have to give the shout out.
Okay, yeah.
But not to get too off topic. Yeah, man. Initially when Higher Faculty started, our core principle was education and entertainment. It still is. And, we've been able to kind of share that through the K-pop and the music and everything. But, I mean, we have to kind of relate it more to our story.
Yeah.
K-pop now, is a part of our story. But for me, it all stemmed from accomplishing things that I never thought I could and achieving success in a way that I never thought was possible. I'm not tooting my horn by any means. I just want to say that people can overcome a lot if they get introduced to who they truly are. You know what I mean? I feel like people, I don't want people to just sit and watch us react because we're funny and we just have fun, but I also want people to be inspired to do things that they would love to do.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I feel like personal development and like entrepreneurship go hand in hand, like they're married together, because to do things that you've never done before, sometimes you have to become a person that you weren't before. And that's why you often see that people who have ambitious goals also fall into, studying success habits and, getting into the health and fitness and mental health, because it all flows together.
Yeah, man. I meditated this morning. I used to meditate all the time, but then life got chaotic. We moved studios, we moved houses, and I've been trying to decorate and get all the painting and furniture and stuff. But I went back to my old school routine. Like I woke up, first thing I did was pray. I meditated, worked out, ate something healthy. I'm already vibing on a different frequency. But I was meditating and I was trying to think about the person that I want to become in the next couple of years. Like who's my ultimate version? Like what does that version of LC look like? So my question to you is, what does that version of Fredo look like? Are you got a little bit more muscle on you? You sound a little bit smarter.
Yeah.
What's the future Fredo looking like?
The future me looks like, I would say just continuing to challenge and grow, challenge myself and grow, become a better creator, become a better father, become a better family member. So just become a light of inspiration to the people I am around me and get away from myself and my goals, but start to rub off on the people around me, like the kids and the family.
Yeah.
So just being more well-rounded, but also double down on what I've started, which is, starting the video and filmmaking. I started doing that like 2013. It's 2021.
Fast.
So time moves fast, but once we step out and start operating more in our lane, like creating videos and music and everything, I want to be the best version of myself in that aspect. So I'm taking every day as an opportunity to learn. I'm still a student of the game. I don't know everything, but I've accomplished a lot, but I've still come into each day like, what can I learn? Like I was watching basic camera tutorials like last night, not only just to sharpen up, but to get ready to teach. We will be doing some of that soon. So
yeah, man, I wanted to touch on that. I'm proud of you for taking the initiative. We're going to be working with some kids from Marshall High School. It's a different type of school. I don't want to spoil anything because we're going to be dropping that footage, but these kids need an opportunity for a creative outlet. And my guy stepped up. I told him I would, back him in anything that he did that I believed in. And we're going to be teaching what we do to students who need it. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know they need it. They need to channel that energy in a certain direction. And my biggest take on that too is giving back to the kids is, being a good mentor. And that's part of, who I envisioned when I was meditating this morning of like, who can I mentor? And I'm definitely trying to be a mentor with anyone that God puts in my presence. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be somebody in the grocery line that you say something to, whether it be someone that you sit by next to for hours, day in and day out. I'm just trying to be a better mentor. Yeah. Physically, I need to put some muscle back on. I'm real skinny right now.
Yeah, man.
I used to be a lot more fit. And, I'm at the age, or we're at the age to where your body starts to reflect your habits. And you look like what you eat and how you sleep. You know what I'm saying? You just start to become built physically like a pack of powdered donuts, if that's what you eating at the gas station every day. But I've been blessed with a very high metabolism, and it doesn't show, but I'll still feel like that. So a lot of people will be like, man, you still look good and all that. And I'm just tired of not fully receiving those compliments. So I have a physical goal that I want to definitely get some of this footage on camera, is how fast I can run 3 miles, period.
Nice.
I'm definitely reaching out to Aaron Shields because he does that, and that's one of my goals as well. I want to strive to start with a half marathon and then work my way up to a full marathon.
Hey.
Yeah, that's a lot of running, boy.
Yeah, man. That's crazy.
So just meet me at the finish line with the camera, bro. You don't got to run behind me with the gimbal or nothing, bro. Because you too tall, bro. You ain't win. I got some, wind resistance or whatever it's called. Aerodynamics. But
that's an amazing goal, man.
Yeah, like I want to run everywhere, man. I want to run like in the Boston, all the big spots. Like I just want to say that I did it. Yeah. And then definitely just want to be consistent in that area. So
yeah. What's crazy is I've been an athlete my entire life, but I hate like running. I mean, I love running. Like if I'm playing a sport, like if I'm playing basketball, like I'll run up and down the court all day. But just getting up and just going outside and running, I always hated that aspect. Partly because I only know one way to go, and that's hard. Mm-hmm. So when I run hard, and I'm like, I feel like I'm about to die.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like that's maybe like something I need to work on, though. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff doesn't come easy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of advantages and benefits to running. And just because it's hard doesn't mean I need to just not do it. So, hey, I'm making a declaration. I'm going to join you on some of these runs. That's it. Not all of them. Some of them.
Hey, man, I need that support, bro. Just like I support you on the hoop court, man. I'm not by any means. If y'all want to see something hilarious, we should get some footage of me playing basketball. I got good defense, though.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'll just get annoyed. I'll just annoy my opponent by just consistently running around, talking, poking at you, pulling on your shirt. But I mean, I can up my game a little bit just to, you know, when you go to the court or whatever, you usually got like a little squad with you, 2 or 3 homies that can get out there and, you know, represent with you. Yeah. And if I happen to be there, I definitely can't have no Vans on for one, because I tried that, about lost a whole ankle.
Oh,
but
man.
I got to show up a little bit and get my skills right.
Yeah, man, that's dope. So we got the physical goals.
Yeah.
Mentally, you know, I feel like it's time to just start studying and relaying the information that we've came across to. The actual name of the company is Higher Faculty. And for those who don't know, like there's deep meaning behind the name of our company. It came through the personal development that we just recently touched on a couple minutes ago. You know, I came across a guy by the name of Bob Proctor, who teaches success and entrepreneurship and everything. And, you know, he was just talking about the highest version of yourself. Each, you know, as human beings, we have higher faculties. You know, there's 6 of them. But, you know, I kind of started developing those without even knowing it. And once I took a hold of that concept of the higher faculties, and I'm like, those are things that you can work on and implement, and it can help you become, you know, a better you, essentially.
Yeah. To piggyback off that, man, when you approached me with this, we were in my basement. We had done a very hard workout. Yeah. The endorphins was kicking in. We're drinking our post-workout shakes, and you're like, man, like I want to do something together. I don't know what it looks like. But I got the name. It's Higher Faculty. And I'm like, why? And you told me the 6 faculties. And from there, I started to read the book. Did not finish the book. That's one thing. That's one of my goals. I want to start finishing books and reread them. Think and Grow Rich. And this is what I want to share with whoever's watching this and whoever see this. We accomplished this off me reading half a book. So just think if I could actually teach you the power of each faculty that's within you. Like, I know what it is, and that's what I did. And the one that stuck with me most was getting an image and keeping it in my mind, and then literally becoming like, it was almost like how you guys watch a reaction. Like, I would just watch my mind react, and I would just choose if I wanted to let go of that image because we were going broke, if I wanted to let go of that image because some people were calling us corny for sitting down watching music videos all day. But for some reason, for the first time in my life, I actually just kept the image in there no matter what happened. Yeah. And look what happened. So like on a bigger scale, I'm like, if I can teach people to do that, and I can inspire people to like really start like a big business or really start a nonprofit just off me, just like hearing an idea from him, reading a little bit of a book and then taking action, I'm like, we can change the world. And that's one of my goals when it comes to like the mentally in the personal development goals, is to like really start teaching those who need it. Not everyone needs it. There's going to be a certain handful of people out of 50,000 subscribers. It could be 200, 300 people. We don't know that will actually segue into that. And that's great. And for the other ones who want to continue and watch us react, we're here for that too.
Yeah, for sure. And everybody's different. Everybody has their own ambition, goals, and stories. Like, you don't necessarily even have to start a business or be an entrepreneur, but if we can help people, you know, just live in more understanding, because sometimes the world can just weigh you down, man. Like things could be going wrong. You know, you could feel like my job and this is not going well. And and this is not going well. But ultimately, if you can find peace within yourself just by understanding yourself, it'll allow you at your core to just be more empowered. And if we can do that, man,
do you remember, or not to cut you off, but do you remember how early on I used to say, like, man, if we could just help one person, like I always just put the number so small, like, man, if we could get 10 people rocking with us, bro, 10 people listening to my music. I was like, if we can get 20 people to watch a reaction video, and you were always stretching me like, bro, we can get 20,000. Like, we can help a lot of people. And like, it's slowly but surely something that I'm starting to expand my mind on, of like, I've never really been a numbers guy. I kind of just do the work and just, look at the response. But now I'm really starting to see, like, God has given us an opportunity to have a platform to connect with like-minded people, to help people who may be lonely. Not to segue too much, but you guys and girls, whoever watches, you've really changed me as a person, especially when you share with me like where you are at in life. So we just feel like it's time for us to give that back to you. One story specifically was about a guy who was in New York, I think, and he told me, he was like, hey man, thank you for stepping out and, being vulnerable, putting yourself on camera. He was like, because I had to move away from my family. I have some people in my family, I think it was his mom, who was sick. And he was like, you guys literally keep me company every night. And it was like still mid-pandemic. And that's when I was just like, all right, it's not about me no more.
Yeah.
Like, this is something I've always wanted to do, but I was like, man, we really are helping people. So I want to do that more intentionally rather than just being from an entertainment standpoint, just because we both like this and it's just pure entertainment. Like, if I can help the people that I need to help, that's what I'm striving for.
Yeah, that's awesome. And in response to that one Mew, your comment, she said, he or she, doesn't everyone do that? We'd never get anything done if we never imagined it before. That's true to a certain extent, but at the same time, it's deeper than just holding a goal in mind. It's a way of thinking, like when it comes to imagination, because some people might think like, man, the world is against me. Why? One bad thing happens after another. And it's true. Because that's what you're thinking about. Like you create your own reality. So
that's the frequency you're on.
Yeah, it's like once you get in the circle of problems, you're gonna, if you feel like the world is working against you, it probably is, because you're thinking that. And it's like, we want to kind of inspire you to take control of your thoughts, because ultimately you have the decision. You can choose positivity. You can choose. No matter what it is, you have to learn to find the good in situations, even if it's one of the worst things in the world. If you're still, as long as you're still alive, there's opportunity, and there's growth involved.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So if we can inspire people with our content, then by any means, I'm all forward. So, I mean, we do. And love and enjoy reacting too, but it's like it's time to kind of branch off and do more than just the reactions. You know what I mean? So
like, this isn't like a breakup video, because I know somebody probably just fell out their chair. Like, no more Captain Fuego on the track?
Yeah.
Nah, like, not at all. Yeah, man. And then I would say even spiritually, I want to grow closer to God. I want to get more involved with volunteering. I've been church shopping, but I need to become a member of a church. And, everybody's faith is different. I'm not out here to, recruit, necessarily anyone. I just think that me sharing my testimony more and what I believe in, which is God and Jesus Christ, I think for the people who need that, it would be more helpful for me to be vulnerable and sharing, my beliefs and my faith. Rather than, trying to just throw religion on people. I just feel like, I have a platform, and for those who are like me or who need an answer, I should be a vessel for them. And tying into that, I would definitely say that it's my goal to be the best husband and future father. I like this beat. Got a little Asian twang to it. Best husband and father that I can be.
Yeah.
So this is just us sharing our goals with you. feel free in the chat to share some of your goals with us, because the reason why I was like, you know what, today let's just do some unscripted stuff is because this has been the biggest accountability group in my life. Like, I'll say like, hey man, we're going to do something. And then like, y'all will follow up on it. And I'm like, oh crap. Like, I got to try and do it now. But when it's 50,000 of you, we can't necessarily do everything, but we try and we read and we do stuff. So
yeah. I also want to take the time to thank everybody who supported us thus far. Like, it's been so wild, but ultimately we get up and do what we want to do because we want to connect and serve the people who are supporting us. Like, it's not about us, you know what I mean? Like, and sometimes, you know, people get caught up in sending us requests and recommendations. Like, that's awesome. But, you know, like, for the most part, we're not just listening for us. That's a part of it, but it's more so to share the experience with connecting with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, certain songs and lyrics might really resonate with us, and it's awesome to share that experience with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it doesn't, but everything doesn't have to be so black and white, like whether we love or like something at all. It's like, I try to take the positive from something and keep moving. And if you guys could do that with our content, like, even though it may not be a reaction, like you or a group that you might not be interested in, don't take it so black and white, like, I won't check this out. Like, maybe I can get something out of it. Maybe I might find a new group or a new song, or, you know, once we start doing other stuff, like maybe I might learn something new. So,
yeah, just think if we would have been closed-minded.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have went a lot of different ways. Like, the first group we did was NCT. Like, what if we were just like, nope, not NCT only? We would have never found, like, you know, all these other groups or anything like that. So I feel like I don't want to limit myself to, you know, anything anymore. Mm-hmm. And that's ultimately what I want the channel to represent. It's just like, no limitations. We're here to learn. We're here to have fun, education, and entertainment. And that's what we've been really working on. So I get a lot of messages of like, man, like, you guys aren't posting as much and doing this. Trust me, we're working. Like, we're always working.
Yeah, for sure.
And we want to get everyone who wants to be involved with that as well. Like, we want you to watch us impact our community, and maybe you can get ideas to impact your community. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just being from Middletown, Ohio, man, it is a very, very interesting place. Mm-hmm. Like, how would you describe where we're from? Because just think about it, bro. A lot of people are across the world. So they might not have never been in the United States. So they might have one connotation of like, well, I've been to New York once, so where they live is probably like New York. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So how would you describe like Middletown?
Small city, small industrial city, I should say. Mm-hmm. The majority of people that actually work here are like factory workers, like hard workers, like blue collar workers. Yeah. It's unique in the sense that there's a lot of ambition. Like, there's a lot of small businesses. There's a lot of people who want to do certain things. But then for the most part, everybody's just kind of, I would say, just like average American people. What makes our city like stand out historically has been like sports. Mm-hmm. Me and him both are athletes. He won't tell you this, but he's a Hall of Fame athlete.
Not yet, bro.
He's going to be inducted.
I'm gonna be
into the Middletown Hall of Fame.
And you know what, bro? Just the whole process around that. I'm not gonna get like, I'm never gonna be cocky about it or anything. But I've been hard on myself my whole life, and it's not until I talk to someone like you who was in that era with me, because I always had the mindset of like, I could have did better, I could have did more. But like talking to someone like you or someone that I play with, like if one of my college teammates or especially high school called me, they were like, man, like, bro, you was going hard. You was setting a leadership example, and like you were a great athlete. So hearing you say that, like, for once, I'm going to give myself a small applause, because now I'm getting older and I'm just like, I got to let go of like regrets of what I thought I could have been. Like, everyone had an NFL dream. I didn't make it, so I limited myself. But not to get off topic. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, before I lost my train of thought, I don't even remember what I was saying.
You was talking about Middletown historically being known for athletics.
But no, I mean, like, yeah, you should give yourself a pat on the back because, I mean, I met you in 2005 or 6, whatever it was, and you were the captain of the football team, and I was just a young sophomore that just everybody like, hey, is he going to be good enough to be on varsity? Like, is he ready? And yeah, I was ready. You know what I mean? I could hold the fort down.
Mm-hmm.
But now I looked at what you were doing, man, going hard in the weight room. You had a level of focus that I wasn't used to. You know, like 2 years before that, I was in middle school. You know what I mean? Like we go from like kids to like becoming adolescents and young adults. And, you know, there's certain levels of focus that you don't have unless you're around it all the time. So like when I'm a freshman, sophomore coming into the weight room and I'm seeing LC going hard, like focused, determined, hitting 225, you know what I mean? Like, all right, that's got to be me in 2 years. If I'm going to be a leader, this is who I need to be like. But, you know, that sticks with like your teammates for a long time, you know what I mean? So when we reconnected years later, like we weren't, like I went maybe 10 years without talking to this guy, and then you know he comes back around like, hey, I want to do music and videos, and we reconnect. Like that image of LC was still in my mind because if you weren't doing the right things at that time, and you were just a clown, and you wasn't really, you know, on point, like I probably would have been like, you know what, nah, I probably wouldn't have responded.
That's deep.
Yeah, but to go way back to what I originally was talking about, Middletown as a city, like it's crazy because we're a small city, but like there's NFL players that come from here.
Oh yeah.
There's NBA players. There's Hall of Fame track athletes from here. There's, you know, Kayla Harrison is the #1 lady in mixed martial arts.
I think she's won 2. Was it 2 or 3 gold medals in judo?
Yeah,
and she's undefeated in, I think it's the PFL.
Yeah,
which is, you know, essentially cage fighting. Yeah, I'm just gonna sum it up and say she's one of the baddest women on the planet. She lived across. Her grandparents lived across the street from my mom's house, and we used to jog together. Yeah, I think it was just for like a year or so, but I mean that is one. She's gonna beat some people up. Just know that. Any ladies out there thinking about fighting, check out Kayla Harrison. That's the inspiration right there.
Yeah. And I think it's crazy because I'm like, we're really a small city, but like I said, there's so many people that have accomplished great things, not just athletically too, like academically.
Oh yeah.
So I think the more we tell those stories to the youth, the more that they could see that it's possible. Like I can come from this small place and accomplish whatever I dream to do. You know, there's a movie on Netflix that was written by an author here, a guy who grew up here and told his story as a Harvard or not Harvard, but an Ivy League graduate. So I'm like, there's so many people who have accomplished so much, and I'm like, I'm proud of my city, you know. Even though today people from the surrounding areas might have a negative connotation of our city because, you know, it hasn't always been squeaky clean. You know, we've had crime and drugs and poverty and homelessness in our city on a large scale. Yeah. So
ongoing too.
It's like our city is torn between the people who are doing amazing and the people who are not.
Oh yeah.
If we can,
fine line.
If we can balance that out, like our city would be an amazing place.
Yeah. How I look at Middletown is if you put me in a room, I've been saying this for years, and it wasn't until I predominantly grew up here, but it wasn't until I went to college at Indiana State, one state over, world of difference. Completely different types of friends, lifelong friends, just like the people that I grew up with here, but just different. And it wasn't until I was in a different surrounding that I used to always say this: you can put me in a room with 30 people and say 5 of them are from Middletown, and you got 5 minutes to find them, and I will find them every single time. It's like a uniqueness about what our city creates. It's just different. Like, it's just a certain flavor that like if you're from Middletown, you got a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? Not too much of one thing, but like just universally like something about us. And the craziest thing to me about Middletown is if me and him hop in the car right now, we can take you to some of the most fire R&B singers that you'll never hear and you've never heard because they just rap in their basement and they don't put music out. Or we can take you to somebody who makes the most fire beats that unfortunately, if you don't catch him whenever he's home and if his hard drive isn't set up right and this, that, you'll never hear these beats. And I'm just like, I feel like I'm called to just finally be a vessel of just like pouring out my creativity, which is ultimately a representation of Middletown as much as possible. So that's both musically, because I've done those things. I have tons of songs I haven't released. And that's both like connecting with him and making film. And anything that I can do creative, just sharing my story and my testimony is like, somebody's got to do it. And then ultimately that ties into us, you know, working with the kids. It's like, we want them to be like doing that same thing because somebody's got to do it. It's too much talent here. And that's from athletics. That's from academics. That's from, you know, it's just like untapped potential and talent all around us. Like I could just name people for days and days. And I definitely want to use this platform and anything that I have, anything in my being to just represent where I'm from, man. Like, yeah.
And I think that's what's both in our hearts. Like when we look at the numbers on our YouTube channel, like we don't think about ourselves. We think about what we can do with it. Like how can we share this platform with other people? So don't be surprised in the future if you do see artists performing on our channel, if you do see get to know other people outside of us. Like we got to think long term when it comes to higher faculty. One day we're going to be old and gray. We might still sit here and be reacting, but ultimately, if the brand is going to continue, like we got to have other people that are, you know, inspiring and creative. You know, so that's what I'm thinking. Like in the back of my mind is like, you know, we're still in the early stages, even though it's only been like a year. It's already been like a year. I got to think like 40 years down the road, like what is higher faculty going to be?
Yeah. I want it to be something that lasts forever. Pass the sauce down to somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm getting an HF tatted on my neck. I'll be at the nursing home with it right here on the neck. They're going to be like, what does that say? I'm like, you listen here, young man. Back in my day, we didn't have these robots, you know what I'm saying, walking around doing everything for you. But nah, that's, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So
we're going to start doing, you know, first and foremost, just getting the things done that we said we were going to do, like period.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things, this is how we can grow. Like we don't have a script in front of us. We're live in front of, I don't know how many people, plus how many people will see this. And we just got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So that's my message for the day is like, you're uncomfortable for like one or two reasons. It's just because like you don't need to be there or you're about to get uncomfortable, if that makes sense. It's like I'm too comfortable or like I'm about to be uncomfortable again. So it's like, where are you? And we want to definitely stretch ourselves. Like that could be me going somewhere and performing. I've done it before, but I'm not doing it consistently. But I might go to a certain area that I don't know anybody and they really ain't feeling what I'm saying and still get through it. Or this guy didn't even want to be on camera. He's a cameraman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that's what's crazy. It's like, yo, I hated being on camera. I used to struggle. Sometimes I do still, but it's like, I used to be like dreading it. Like, I don't want to be on this camera. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to stutter. I don't want to mess up a word, but I don't know, man. I just felt the vibes and saw the first comments like, oh, that was inspiring. Like, y'all are great. Like, it empowered me, and I want other people to feel that feeling, not with just creating videos, but whatever it is you want to do. Like, step out there and do something. You could be at home sitting on something great, amazing, whether you can sew, knit, do hair, play basketball, do music. Step out there and do it, because one or two people will fuel the flame. That's all it took for us was, that first few hundred people that hit the subscribe button that said, I like what you guys are doing. And that's enough fuel to the flame to keep us sitting here right now to this day.
Yeah. And the biggest thing that we did was we just conquered fear. We just replaced fear with having fun. Like, I was terrified that first reaction video, in a sense, because I was just like, I don't even know what this is. I've never done this. I've never listened to any type of, what is K-pop? Like, those are all just like antics of fear. But if you can make everything fun and just laugh about it afterwards, then, I mean, you can go so far. Sky's the limit. Like, sitting down in front of this camera with the two screens in front of us and my laptop is a very comfortable, familiar feel where I can just get on here and talk. If I stand up and go outside and I have to get mic'd up and there's cars driving by, sometimes I'll stutter. Sometimes I'll be like, wait, what was I about to say? But me and him will always just bust out laughing when it's all said and done. Like, we're growing, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, talking to an audience in person online is different. And we just want to inspire and hopefully get some stories. That's what I want in my DMs, some stories or some emails of like, how did you conquer fear this week? How did you get uncomfortable? Because we do it every day.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. Woli says in the comments, it would be so boring if everything was perfect. Like, it's going to be great to reminisce about how you started and see the transformation and growth. Oh, yeah.
I agree with that. It's just like, I'm like, man, what if you just got everything you prayed for? Like, immediately without the journey, you wouldn't even appreciate it as much. Like, man, God, I just really want that Maserati.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, I didn't have to like go through a struggle to get it, or question if I really wanted it. No, I don't care. Here, somebody get this out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't give me the Maserati, boy.
Man, I was thinking about our journey like this morning. It's crazy, man. Like, it's been really crazy. Like, it's been so many ups and downs. But ultimately,
tell them one thing crazy, bro.
One thing that's crazy was one day, like, I was having a terrible day, or the night before, and we was just having a terrible week, and like, we were just not reacting. We hadn't started reacting yet, and honestly, I had feelings of like, man, did I do the right thing by starting this thing called Higher Faculty? Did I do the right thing by opening the studio and signing a lease on this big building and doing all this? And I just walked in, man, like, man, it's been crazy. It's been whack. It's been stressful. And I just remember looking at LC like, bro, man, we need a win. Like, this is bad. And, you were probably having the same thoughts and doubts as me. Like, man, this is not working out. And the fact that we held on to faith, we could have walked out the next day and been like, you know what? Let's just call it quits, man. And like, we soon started reacting like maybe 2 or 3 days after that. And that little bit of like, something's going right, like, turned into this. And it's like, that's what's crazy to me, man.
Yeah.
That's like one of the craziest things. Cause I just remember that moment of like, feeling like everything was going wrong, but we still chose to continue.
Bro, the resiliency, man. If I could like create a player, like create a fighter on a video game, like, resiliency is on 100 between the two of us, because there were days where we would get out the car and just lock eyes in defeat. Like, man, like, what are we gonna do? And to tie into the faith aspect, throughout the hardest time of my life, which was right before the reaction in the YouTube channel took off, bro, I was praying so hard every day, and I just didn't know. This is the lesson. It's like, you don't know what it's gonna look like. Like, you don't know what the answer is gonna look like. I'm like, God, please meet me here today. Like, I'm doing what you said. Like, I'm trying. Like, I just don't know what to do. Like, we got so much potential that we just can't tap into. We don't know where to put our energy. And then it was just like, we got the answer. And like now it's almost comical to me. Like, so why would I ever have anxiety or worry about what it looks like? I just got to know that God's going to meet me there and he's going to provide, and he absolutely will. And the craziest day to me was the day that we came up with the idea to call Tez in to do the DJ mix.
I remember
I
that.
kid you not. We had the whole whiteboard was full. Like, we're going to do this song today. We're going to do this song today. We're going to do this song. And I looked at Fredo and I was like, if a DJ mixed these, it would be fire. And we literally called Tez, and he happened to be off work that day. It was like a Tuesday. And he used his entire day off. I kid you not. It took us exactly no less minutes than 10 straight hours of just trying to set up our mixer and mic setup with his thing. We did not eat food. We did not drink water. We were in a trance of just unplug this, bruh. Plug this in, bruh. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
And 10 hours went by. My mom showed up to the studio with a cake and some fish sandwiches, the most random combination ever. And we looked at her, and she had $25K on a cake, and we didn't even know we hit 20. I was like, what? I was like, I thought Fredo was like almost 30. I was like, the 25? I'm like, who is 25 in here? I was like, Tez older than me. And she was like, congratulations. And we looked at her and just grabbed them fish sandwiches like, And we still did a mix that night.
My lips
We still mixed.
were pearly white dry. Like,
Yes, bro.
I'm dehydrated. Until I grabbed that sandwich, I didn't notice how weak I was.
We were weak.
I'm like physically weak,
Mm-hmm.
like setting up, because like even before that, it was days of just recording like all day.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, like I'm not an audio guy. Like I studied
At
a
all.
little bit, but I'm like, how do I hook this mixer up into this mixer to get the mics so we can hear each other and feedback into where get the levels right? It literally was 10 hours of just.
It was
setting up.
exactly 10, bro, because I did the math. I'm like, well, Tez got here at this time. I was like, bro,
Yeah.
it was 10 hours. And I'll never forget, we all had a moment where we sat on the couch, and it wasn't long to where we would give up, but the other two just wouldn't give in. Like,
Yeah.
I saw Tez sit down like, we can try tomorrow. And then I sat down like, bro, I think we got to like buy a new piece. And then you sat down for a second like, I don't think it's going to work. But then the other two were always working. And when I had that headphone on and he scratched, and I said, it came through, bro.
Yeah.
We halfway there. Now we just got to get the music on the screen.
Exactly.
And we still did a mix after that, bro.
Yeah.
The first one. And we were just like, I don't
Yeah.
know, man. And if we could take that approach with everything and just stepping into the unknown, the
Yeah.
life that's on the other side of that, like, is amazing. And that's what people don't understand. Like, a lot of people are closed-minded. I won't even say they're small-minded. They're just closed-minded. And they think that it's just about reactions, and they think it's just about K-pop, but they don't know the persistence and the resiliency and the struggle that we went through. Like, there was certain days where we would just share a 5-piece nugget. And I'm
Yeah.
like, who gonna get that third one? Because he's taller, but I was like, shoot, I mean, I'm shorter, which means my digestive tract is quicker. I'm hungrier than him. Like,
That's hilarious, man.
yeah, man. So
And we've been like living the testimony of like ready is a lie. There's no such thing as ready. You just do something. You know what I mean? Like, now don't be like completely unprepared,
yeah,
but it's like you learn as you go. Like
Mm-hmm.
we could have been like, you know what, Tez, come here. Let's learn how to set up. And then maybe next week we could start.
mm-hmm.
And then, you know, next week something could have happened. Like, oh man, like I got a wedding and I can't come in, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe we can do it next week. No, we were like, come in, let's figure it out, and let's do it.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best, but we figured it out, and we kept getting better every time.
Mm-hmm.
That's even how we started our reactions. Like the first time we reacted, like you can hear the sound like double our voice, and it's not, the audio wasn't right.
Bro, I showed somebody
Yeah.
at work. I was like, they were like, we want to see your channel. They were like, just pick a video. And I'm like, crap, which one? There's so many. I was trying to think of a good one. I'm like, no, I'm just going to go back to 90s Love. And she was like, oh, I can't hear. Like, why is it echoing? And I forgot how
Yeah.
bad our audio was when we started.
Yeah.
And we could have easily been like, until we fix the audio, let's just not react. But we just made a pact with each other. Like, we don't care if it's in 420p and we got to share a mic and you stutter and say the wrong name, or I get the wrong group right or wrong. Yeah. Like, we're just going to put it out. And that's just what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
another one of my favorite moments, not to get off topic.
No, you're good, bro.
Is when we started reacting on screen with people for the first time.
Oh my God.
And I just got reminded of that because I see Stacionator in the comments.
Do you copy? Stacionator.
And that was so fun because it was like we were literally just making new friends. Like, I mean,
yes.
we already was already connected with the audience. Like, remembering names and taking suggestions and Instagram DMs. But I'm like, once we started reacting on screen with people, it was so fun, and to the point where we didn't think we were going to have as many people as we did. But I'm thankful for each person that came on screen and reacted to us.
Real talk.
Whether you still support us or not, like, that was fun. That was
you
fun.
Really, like, etched a moment in time. If you just got on screen with us one time and you never watched another video, if you unsubscribe, I don't care, because we never knew who was going to be on the other end of that line. It was like chat roulette or like Omegle or whatever.
Yeah.
And some of the people that we met from some of the places was the coolest experience ever. Like, I would have never talked to someone from Sweden. Yeah. Like, for what? Like, where? How? I've never been there.
Yeah.
And you're telling me all about this song. And then I end up liking the song, and it's just crazy. And even people who were like, I live in Cincinnati. I'm like, bro, you're right around the corner. Like, we probably been in Walmart at the same time, not even knowing that we both like the same thing. It's just, it was crazy, man. It was definitely crazy. You're giving me flashbacks of certain people who got on screen with us, and like how we would hang up and just be talking about them, like laughing, like not making fun of you or anything like that, but just like, you know, did you think they were nervous? Yeah. Like, and some of you guys would message us and be like, man, did I sound good? And we're putting it out anyways. You sounded great.
Yeah, man.
And everyone did a great job, by the way.
Yeah, because it was an opportunity for people to feel the same feelings we felt before, like being nervous, not knowing what to say, kind of having that self-conscious thing, like, and then it got to a point where we did it a few months to where people were getting comfortable being on camera along with us.
We watched the growth. We watched, like, if you had been on the channel like twice before, you was comfortable when we gave you the intro. We was like, you know, it's Action Fredo, it's your boy LC, you heard. We was like, who we got online? They're like, it's Ren. Like, I'm on here. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm Gucci. Sure. This what we got. And we like look at the little creator inside growing.
Yeah.
And if you did that on your own, if that's what you chose to do,
you would be amazing.
You'd be amazing.
Yeah.
And you'll save somebody.
The LC's headphone story. That's legendary.
And
he's got them on right now.
Don't tell him that, bro. These are the headphones because I don't have the other pair are gone.
Yeah, so, the other pair are gone. So
I gotta buy a pair, but I keep saying, no, I keep manifesting like we're gonna get a headphone sponsorship.
We need a headphone sponsorship.
We do. Come on, Sony, Panasonic, somebody. Give us some wireless Beats or something. Yeah. Listen, the headphone epidemic was unknown and would have never been known if you didn't put them on one day. The look on your face was like you just tasted pickle juice, mustard, and like all the condiments in your fridge swirled together in one drop. You were like,
I was highly offended. Like,
he started pulling on the cord like, is there a short in these? And I'm like, nah, bro, they good. They banging.
We were doing the Tezzy mix. And these headphones are like dangerous. When I turn them up too high, like the bass pumps through them, like I get a puff of air, like the bass will slap me. And I was going through a phase where I was just, every night we would do a mix and I'm just going to get like my ears bumped off tonight. And something was wrong with my headphones, or I didn't have them or something. And I put on LC's headphones and I got offended. Like, what are these? Like, what is going on? Like, I don't hear the bass. I don't feel anything. Like, you've been listening to these headphones the whole time?
90s Love, Moonwalk, you name it, bro.
Gosh,
you name it, bro.
I was like, we got to get you
Mic Drop. I didn't even hear Mic Drop with some good headphones, bro. I went back and listened to it in the car, and I was like, hella thick. What you think about that?
Yeah.
Like, this is banging.
Yeah, man.
Did not, I mean, no bass. I should have had on some freaking what came with the iPhones, bruh. With the cord. I should have had them on, bruh.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Sure.
You just don't know what you don't know. So now I know I'm not getting the full effect right now, but yeah, I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Well, y'all, man, thank you for tuning in. It's been real, man. I think after this, we should do some reactions.
Yeah, we don't even have to stop the stream. We can just stop the recording. Yeah. You probably got to download it because I don't think you got the beginning of it.
Yeah, I missed the first 10 minutes of recording.
Yeah, we can download it. And then we'll have to hop off of YouTube. So let's post I'm going to post the Twitch in YouTube if you guys want to stick around for some reactions.
Yeah, we'll do some reactions live, but we can't do them on YouTube
can't
live.
do them on YouTube.
For those who don't know, we would get copyright striked and banned and shut down forever.
Yeah, and we don't want those problems.
Yeah, we don't want problems of beef with YouTube.
Yeah, we like being able to post videos and do what we do. But I just pinned that comment to the top of the YouTube. We're gonna hop off here. We're gonna do some reactions.
Yeah,
and we thank everybody for tuning in to HF Daily. We just freestyled it today. Sometimes we might have topics to talk about. Sometimes we might just get on here and answer questions. But ultimately, give us some feedback. We'll post this up, comment on there. You can put some comments or topics. But most importantly, what we like to read is what you're going through in your life, whether it be the connection with us through the music, whether it just be, things that we're doing to inspire you or how we can help. Let us know.
Yep. I love y'all too in the comments. Thank
yes,
y'all for
I love all y'all.
Thank y'all for tuning in live. We will end this stream and start another one. Well, we just end this stream on YouTube.
Yeah,
I should say.
I'd be forgetting that we can just do that and stick around.
Yeah, but if you're on Twitch, stay tuned.
Yeah, Twitch.
I'm just going to put the screen up for a second. We're going to take a little brief break, intermission.
Yeah, I'm going to grab a water.
Yeah.